And we are live. Hello, one and all, and welcome to this live special review for tonight's edition of NXT TakeOver Orlando. The big show, WrestleMania weekend is finally upon us. It's the most wonderful time of the year. See, we're singing, we're excited. This is the time of year to be a wrestling fan. And for my review for NXT TakeOver Orlando, I have my good friend, you know him as Club of the Man 1993 here on YouTube. I know him as Mike. Mike, once again, great to have you back on the channel. Welcome.
Sure thing, Dan. Looking forward to talking about this show tonight.
Absolutely. And Mike and I just literally half an hour ago, TakeOver concluded. We just finished watching it. Mike, I'll start with you, and then I'll go with myself. What were your overall thoughts on NXT TakeOver tonight as a show?
Overall, as we probably said, it wasn't the best TakeOver we've seen, but it was still a solid show, I'd say. But I'd say it hit about expectations I had hoped for the show, so it doesn't really affect my grade as far as that way. But again, overall, pretty solid show.
That's what NXT TakeOvers do. Yep. They continue to deliver, and we haven't had a bad one to date. Like you said, going into this, not the most excited for an NXT TakeOver, but despite maybe the somewhat lackluster build, that NXT TakeOver will deliver. These takeovers have always delivered, and this one continues to, just prove why, these takeovers, they feel special, and they go a long way in making them feel special, from the little production details, which of course we'll talk about, to the lighting, to just everything that goes into these shows, to the new belts, which we'll of course talk about. It makes it feel like a big deal, and they should feel like a big deal. And props to WWE and mainly Triple H and his crew for putting on another worthwhile TakeOver edition. So if you happen to be watching live, by the way, feel free to leave your comments in the live chat that will be open throughout this entire review. And without further ado, Mike, let's jump into NXT TakeOver Orlando. Really liked how the way the show kicked off. This was a fun opening match. It was the members of Sanity versus Ty Dillinger, Ruby Riott in her debut match, Roderick Strong, and the mystery partner. And we found out the mystery partner was Cassius Ohno. We were wondering if Ohno was going to be on this show. I thought when they said mystery partner, think in mind, we still have not seen Hideo Itami return yet to NXT, so we're still waiting for his return. Don't know where he'll fit into plans, perhaps against a certain glorious champion. See what I did there? So we'll see. But Mike, we'll start once again with you. Mike, what did you think of this opening match? Because I liked it. It was fast-paced, energetic, and it did everything that an opening match should do in setting the pace for this show.
Pretty much did, yes. You said it all right there. I mean, it was a pretty fun match. Even the odds with Ruby Riott joining them. Again, I'm glad Sanity won because, as we said, this is the year of Sanity. They're taking over NXT. The only way I would have been okay with the win is if Dillinger got the win, just to prove he can finally overcome Sanity, but it didn't happen. But either way, the right thing did happen. And yeah, I think it was a very solid opening match between all these teams. Bodies were everywhere.
So much action. Crowd was into it. Like I said, it was tough to keep up with because you had bodies left and right. You had Ruby Riott, Nikki Cross, which would be an interesting feud in the women's division. Maybe something you'd want to revisit down the line on these two psycho characters going at it. But like you said, Mike, Sanity, coming out of this looking dominant. You're a huge fan of Sanity. Yes. I'm a huge fan of Sanity. Like you said, this is their year, and I see it as well. A scenario that I could see playing out down the line. Think about it. Maybe Nikki Cross one day, whether it's Asuka or somebody else that has that title, you never know. Maybe it's Nikki Cross that defeats Asuka for the women's title. You have Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf. They could be your NXT Tag Team Champions. And maybe Eric Young is NXT Heavyweight Champion for a short time. You could really build Sanity up as the unstoppable, dominant monster heel group in NXT, and so far the way they've been building them up, I just love the entrance and the look and the presentation, because why? It is truly something different. Mike, any more thoughts you want to add about just Sanity itself outside of this match?
Just again, keep making them dominant. I agree. I want to see all of them pretty much have the titles one day. Take over NXT. That's exactly what it needs to be called.
Man, that would be. I mean, they are taking over. No pun intended. Yes. But good showing. Like I said, everybody really had their opportunities, their time to shine. Roderick Strong, I thought, looked good in this match. Oh no, with those wicked forearms, those are some of the best in the business today. They look really good.
The card in the end.
Yes, and Ty looked good as well. So yeah, really just a great way to set the pace for what was a really solid night of professional wrestling. Speaking of making an impact, making an entrance, let's talk about this next match. Andrade Cien Almas. You dig this guy's entrance, Mike. Aleister Black, yeah. Also known as Tommy End. Not too familiar with Tommy End and his work, but I've heard of him. I know of him. And this is the first time Mike and myself have seen him wrestle in the States and in a WWE ring. So the entrance that they had for him alone was just, wow. That's how you make an impact. That's how you get somebody off and running, into the races. I mean, this guy, when he made his debut, we were stunned. We were like, wow, he has our attention now. And as he should. You want to make this guy feel special with the music, with the lighting. It all played off. And before we get into the match itself, Mike, what did you feel about Aleister Black, his entrance and everything? Because I know you were digging it as well.
Oh, that gave me chills. I'm standing there with the dark thing. He's just going to disappear there to come on, whatever. He appears.
He rose.
Pretty much, just like that. And I'm just like, what? I have not seen anything like it before. It was very different, very unique. It just gave you this dark feel for him. I mean, it seems like he's debuting as a baby face. I get that, but still, just that dark feel, the difference you feel, the gothic feel. Yes, it's all different, and it's all him. He's not being somebody else. He's being him,
and he stands out. You don't like making clones of somebody. You don't want to make a clone of John Cena 2.0, Roman Reigns, but you want to make these guys stand out, and that's what I felt they accomplished here in debuting Aleister Black. And I thought the match between him and Andrade Cien Almas, it was a good, solid match. They told a good story, they worked at a good pace, and there were some moments in there where we were seeing Aleister Black and what he was able to do. So it was a nice introduction for him, to an unfamiliar audience like Mike and myself. But Black was able to hit the Black Mass kick, which I know finished Mike. It looked really when he connected with that kick, it looked well, it looked devastating, and no surprise here, Black picks up the win as he should in his debut. Thought it was a solid match between him and Andrade, and yeah, just a good, solid match. Your thoughts on this match?
Definitely, Andrade did excellent. His heel work continues to really impress me a lot more than he did when he first came on the scene. Aleister Black, what else can I say? He's high flying, all over the place. Those kicks, especially that finishing. What was the name of his kick?
The Black Mass.
Black Mass. Yeah, it's just look more like a spinning hook kick to me. But yeah, definitely very fun to watch. I look forward to definitely seeing more of his work and probably future NXT champion.
I was going to pose the question, and for those of you watching live as well, do you think within the next year, I'd say at least maybe by the end of the year, could you see him as NXT champion? I mean, it's early. The guy just debuted, but he has it factor. He has just the look. I see big future potential with this guy, and like I said, that's where I see him headed. Like you said, for the NXT championship, Mike, you're in agreement with me as well. You definitely see him down the line as an NXT champion.
Probably, I'd say at least by next year's Rumble. I'd say probably in a title hunt. I'd say maybe
TakeOver Philly. All right,
probably yes. That's why I'm going to predict. Yes.
All right. Because NXT, like you said, they're in the rebuilding phase, and they bring him in. I could definitely see him being a big player because with guys like Nakamura, who's probably getting called up, it's going to leave a void. It's going to leave a gap. And you bring guys in like a Roderick Strong. Now you have an Aleister Black and possibly an Adam Cole, baby, coming in later on down the line. So the future, that's what I like about NXT. They continue to cycle and rotate talent as talent gets called up to the main roster. So look forward to seeing what's, no pun intended, what's next for Aleister Black down the line. And with that, oh boy, as it says down below in the title, tag team triple threat match. It steals the show. It might steal WrestleMania.
We should have done live reactions for this one.
We should have. This match Mike, when a match is this good, our words will not do it justice. They simply will not do it justice. If you have not seen this triple threat tag team elimination match for the NXT Tag Team Championships, got to get all participants. The Authors of Pain versus DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, versus the Revival, Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder. Phenomenal. Round of applause because you guys get match of the night tonight. Oh, that's who gets match of the night for me. Mike, I'm assuming this was your match of the night as well.
Give me a hell yeah, it was.
Hell yeah. Mike, we'll start with you because what did you think about this match? I mean, try your best to put it into work because it's tough.
Oh, how can I? I mean, a match where you had me off the couch on my toes, like pacing back and forth because I just enjoyed this match so much. You had, again, as we said before, this is one of the best things about NXT is their tag team division compared to the main roster, but maybe you'll get a Revival soon. But this match itself, it told a great story. You got Gargano and Ciampa, more so the underdogs, against the team that has solidified themselves as like the best tag team probably in the industry right now in the Revival against these monsters, the Authors of Pain, who have never faced the Revival as far as I know going into this match. And the working back and forth, the Revival and Gargano and Ciampa like teaming up here and there, trying to take out the Authors of Pain. I even liked how the one time they had I can't remember. One of the Dash and Dawson tagged themselves in after they thought they had Akam or Razor down, and they tried to pull DIY over top of him for the pin. It did not work. They were just doing anything they could to take out Akam and Razor.
You know what? Yeah, good. Well, I was going to say two things that really work to benefit this match that I love: psychology. Very important. And storytelling. That's what made this match great. Storytelling, psychology, off the charts. Just off the charts. My God. What a match. I can't wait to go back. I want to watch it again. That's how good this match was.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But, as you were saying.
I was saying, yes. And they even had, Gargano and I can't remember which one was holding on to him. They tried to double submit each of them, and it didn't work either. They put them through a table. That still didn't work.
That was sick. It
was 4-on-1. This built a stronger tag team tonight, I felt, in the Authors of Pain. They took out the team. Like, I'm okay. I mean, again, I know DIY was both of our picks to win this match. They were, yes. But I think the way it played out worked even better because they built even the Authors of Pain as a stronger tag team. Not making this
exactly
making them the team to beat right now, I'd say. They beat DIY, and they beat the team, the two-time NXT champions, probably one of the toughest teams I've seen with the great heel tactics they have in the Revival. Just unreal. Now we wonder who in the world can possibly beat the Authors of Pain.
Well, I'll get into that in a minute, but you said it best. This match from top to bottom was the match of the night for the reasons that Mike outlined. And like I said, for psychology, from storytelling. And what I loved is you knew that there was going to be a ton of heat when DIY were eliminated. So they had the Authors of Pain do that, and the crowd chanted bullshit, and they were raining down the boos and the jeers on the heels, and that's how it should be. I liked how they transferred that heat. And like you said, Mike, they went through two-time NXT Tag Team Champions in the Revival, and the Authors of Pain withstood the test of pain going through tables, and just guys flying off the top rope onto them, and then the double submission moves, and just everything that was thrown at them in the book, and they still retained their NXT Tag Team Championships. That makes them look like dominant, unstoppable, badass sons of bitches, and that's what I loved about this match. It didn't hurt any of the teams involved. They all came out looking like winners, and bravo, bravo. The NXT Tag Team division continues to raise the bar, and our words cannot do this justice. If after this review, of course, go watch this match. If you haven't seen this match, go watch this match. Matches like these are why we're fans of professional wrestling. So, Mike, I've said all I can about this match. Would you like to add anything?
Right now, this is my match of the year. Not just match of the night. This is my match of the year.
Wow, there's a long way to go, and but that's definitely a very, very good pick.
Question though, you were saying before is who do you think could someday take out Authors of Pain?
I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot. Heavy Machinery. Watch out for them. Watch out for them. I'm digging them as a tag team. I don't know your thoughts on them, but man,
I've seen them already fight once on NXT this past week. I want to see a little more though. I'd say
I'm becoming a fan very fast. They've caught my eye, and thanks Robbie for the impersonation of myself. He's in the live chat, but I knew he was going to do that. But Heavy Machinery, Mike, keep an eye on them. They're becoming one of my favorite teams. I like their chemistry. I like what they have to offer. And they're two big guys, but they really know how to go into that ring and work. And, man, somebody said that tag match made me cry. I mean, it was emotional. I wish that I did live reactions because, man, we were screaming like lunatic. Like, it was just nuts. We were having fun. That was professional wrestling at its best. And I could talk all day long about that tag team championship match. But, of course, we have two more matches to talk about. Two good matches. I wouldn't say they were great, but let's talk first. Switching gears here. We're going to talk about Ember Moon challenging Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. Good match. Not as good as I thought that the match was going to be. And one thing that did hurt it, and I don't know, Mike, if you were thinking this at the time we were watching it, it's tough to follow what is considered a match of the year. I mean, that was you knew the match that was going to follow this was going to have a tough time. And I feel that did hurt somewhat Asuka versus Ember Moon. I don't know if you felt the same way.
I mean, I understand, like, we didn't really get, like, the best out of these two tonight, but I think, well, part of it was, I feel also because it was decent storytelling build of this match, but I feel like they could have done a little bit more because these two were like, when did you really see these two clash really in the build? Like, how many times? Just to me, it was just
much.
Just one time during the contract signing. So it's like, again, like Asuka kept saying in this build, who is Ember Moon? Like, I don't know who this Ember Moon is pretty much and all that. But tonight, it seemed like Asuka did find out who Ember Moon is. And of course, when she saw Asuka, Ember Moon getting ready to jump off for that Eclipse, and obviously that she realized that she was in trouble, and she, went to the next level and present a little bit of some heel tactics and pushing the referee to get Ember's win, which I think it works because it allows this feud to take it to another level and have these two like get more heat on each other and eventually have another clash, which I think it will be meant to be higher. So I'm okay with this match, like not like quite hitting where I want it to be. So and then that's pretty much just a positive.
It was a good match, don't get me wrong. Right. I just didn't think it was. I know they have better in them, and like you said, I think it's setting up for something even better down the line, but definitely a hard-hitting, physical affair. Both women stood toe-to-toe against each other, and with the unexpected, shove of the referee, stopping Ember from hitting her total eclipse finisher, that definitely seems to allude to the fact that Asuka probably will be turning heel. I mean, we thought that might happen coming out of her TakeOver match against Mickie James, but as I said to you, Mike, it looked like they put that on the back burner for now, and then eventually now we come full circle. It makes sense because Asuka, you're in her shoes, you kind of become cocky, kind of become arrogant over the fact that no one's been able to defeat you, and, eventually when somebody knocks you off your mantle, it's going to happen. That's going to get the best of you. Perhaps, maybe the next step, we'll have to see what direction they go. I'm curious, I'm intrigued, and I want to see another match between these two because I know they can have an even better match. That's what I want to see. So, overall, good match, I'd have to say. Anything else you want to add about Asuka versus Ember Moon before we talk about the main event?
I mean, not really. I mean, like you said, this is good to start having Asuka, work more as a heel. I agree because I feel like she has a look to be a villain too, and it just adds,
she can be.
It adds a little bit more to her character. I mean, I think she's been good so far, but I feel like there was something still missing from this character of her. And as far as her, adding this more cockiness, and then realizing that Ember Moon is a threat and panicking to show the referee, I think that's a great way to take her character to the next level.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yes.
All right, then. Well, before we get to the main event, there was a special guest in attendance tonight
Yes.
at NXT TakeOver, Drew McIntyre. Definitely did not see him popping up at NXT TakeOver, but it goes to show you, this is what I love about NXT. You never know who's going to show up at these TakeOver events. We've seen Bobby Roode. We've seen, I believe, Cassius Ohno was the last guy. So I always love how they do these little teases. And I would love to see Drew McIntyre back. The chosen one. They diluted him when they put him in 3MB, which is a freaking joke. He went to TNA.
Yeah.
I wasn't keeping up with what he was doing. I mean, I've heard of what he was doing in TNA, and it was good stuff. He reinvented himself, taken more seriously. And that's what sometimes needs to happen. You need to go away. You need to get outside of the WWE bubble and prove to, show them that, hey, you want me. I'm not going to want you. If you guys want me, well, come calling. Now, you can go make a name for yourself. And hopefully this time, if Drew is coming back, and assume he is because he was on TV, they use him much, much better because he's a talent. He was always very talented. But I felt like they dropped the ball with him. When I was watching, this goes back to 2010. He was literally, he was named as Vince McMahon's chosen one. That was his gimmick. I mean, come on. And they just didn't do anything with that. They gave him that. You'd think this guy's going to the top. And maybe it was too much too soon, like Drew said in his interviews that I heard. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just hopefully this runs much better for him. So anything you want to say about Drew McIntyre? I mean, I don't know if you know too much about him.
I've gone back and seen some of his stuff at times, like within recent years. But I mean, I definitely saw all the potential in him. But so I definitely look forward to see him hopefully getting a second shot here in WWE.
Sure. So we'll see where they go with that. But going back here to the main event, Shinsuke Nakamura challenging Bobby Roode for the new NXT championships. NXT championship, excuse me, no S on there. But speaking of the championships, plural, we had new women's titles, tag team titles, and heavyweight titles. Real quick, your thoughts on the championships? The new titles, I think they look fine, nice. No real complaints about them. They're not awful. They're just good. They're solid. I like them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the NXT tag titles are great. The NXT title, like the women's title, again, I think it's okay. It's acceptable. I feel like there could be just a little bit more to it, though. I don't know why. There's just something that seemed like it was missing to me.
Okay, fair enough.
But
and yes, they're still good. Nothing wrong with them.
Right.
Nice designs. Now, Nakamura versus Bobby Roode. I thought this was good. Wasn't great, in my opinion. Mike, as I was saying, I just think that these two, it's a chemistry thing. I just don't think their chemistry it's good, but it just doesn't click to where it could become a great match like I thought they could have. I don't know. It just seemed like something was off. If that was just me, or if you were noticing the same thing, let me get your thoughts on that. You kind of feel the same way while watching this match?
I mean, I can kind of see that way. I mean, we see Nakamura, like his first few matches with like Sami Zayn and Austin Aries. Like they somewhat have like more similar, high flying styles. It pretty much just seemed like. Then you get to like Joe, who like as agile he is for how big he is, which still surprised me how agile he is, which hats off to you, Joe. It's just like, it's just a different style that doesn't really quite match. Like Bobby Roode. What I like about Bobby Roode is that he doesn't do anything like too fancy, but he makes it looking simple and it works. And having that against like someone like Nakamura, who's like, a little bit of a high flyer, strong style, all his, his Japanese, style as well. It's different. And I see it doesn't quite mesh together, I'd say.
And that's not saying this was a bad match. No. I thought it was good. I like the psychology of targeting the leg of Nakamura by Bobby Roode. There were some good false finishes and near falls, but on paper, and this, I have the same feeling coming out of the Rumble weekend. Like I told you, I thought they had a good match. I just thought it was going to be a great match of the year candidate. Maybe that was setting my expectations too high, but when I heard Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and that's okay. We've seen this in the past. It's just, their styles, their chemistry, maybe off some. And that's okay because obviously they're going to be going in different directions. This is the blow-off, I assume, for this feud. Nakamura lost as a result of the second. It was actually a top rope tornado, glorious DDT, which was very nice. finish for the win. 1, 2, 3. Bobby Roode retains his NXT championship, so Bobby Roode's going this way. And Nakamura might be coming up to the main roster.
Tuesday night?
Maybe Tuesday? Tuesday, SmackDown, anybody? We'll see. But, yeah. I thought it was a solid main event. Good way to close out the show. Mike, anything you want to add to your thoughts on this match?
What I liked about this match as well, as you said with the psychology, is that in the first match, Nakamura more so hurt his knee, like, from a mishap pretty much. This time it was Bobby Roode attacking the knee, and he was the one who
Figure 4 leg lock as well.
Yes, and he's the one who pretty much, got Nakamura down, took away some of his strong positions, which again works very well and proves how good, not chemistry, psychology Bobby Roode has.
Psychology was good in this match. Like I said, I just felt like the chemistry was off. That's what hurt it a little bit for me. But overall, let's give our final, the most important time, the final grades for this show. Mike, I'll start with you, and then I'll go to myself. What grade would you give NXT TakeOver Orlando?
All right, so when I was thinking about the grade, the thing is, I feel like I did enjoy this a little bit more than San Antonio. But I gave San Antonio an A- more so because I was being a little lenient and accepted my expectations. I'm sorry. But Orlando was pretty much where I thought it would be. Solid show. But it was one of the best one I saw. Still saw enough, but I'm going to give it a B+.
Okay. I will also give it a B+. I was going back and forth, A-, B+. I mean, I thought the tag team championships, phenomenal, outstanding. I enjoyed Asuka Ember Moon. That was good. Bobby Roode, Nakamura, good. Opening tag match, good. Aleister Black's debut, good. So everything was good on this show. And one really amazing match of the year candidate. It's a B+ in my book. Very close to an A show, but I just got to go with the B+. Still, another good NXT TakeOver event. Sets the stage for what is to come tomorrow. And you know what that is? The granddaddy of them all. The biggest show of the year, WrestleMania 33. And Mike and myself, we're going to try and do it this year. We're going to try and go live immediately, well, not immediately, after WrestleMania, depending on what time that show ends. Hopefully we will have enough energy to do that live review and bring it here to you. So we will do our best. So in closing, Mike, I'll give you the floor for you to get that plug in for your channel.
Yeah, of course. Once again, Dan, thanks again for having me on. It's always great. Make sure to always check out Dan's stuff, guys. You can check out my stuff as well. You can follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93 and on YouTube at The Club of the Man 1993. I just do wrestling videos, gaming videos, whatever the heck it is. And also, make sure to check out our Mania Memories series. It's posted in a playlist on my channel called Mania Memories, where we did 4 separate collaborations on mine, Dan, BSP Wrestling's, and Robbie1 Kenobi's channels. Make sure to check out their channels as well.
All right, guys, that closes out this live review for WWE NXT TakeOver Orlando. Remember, immediately after this review is posted, leave your feedback in the comments section down below. Always enjoy getting that feedback. We'll respond appropriately. And, of course, be sure to check out my channel, youtube.com/DanielGuys412 for all the latest, greatest content. And remember, I will be up here tomorrow after WrestleMania 33 for my live Mania review. Should be great. Cannot wait. There will also be live reactions I'll be doing throughout the night. So a ton of great content coming to the channel within the next couple of days. So enjoy the rest of WrestleMania weekend. And it's here, guys. It's finally here. So I'm out. Going to go get some rest. And then tomorrow, it's time for WrestleMania. Have a good night, guys.